Hello world, Prophet Ron Dwayne with a recording today on Monday, January 27, 2019. Purpose of this video is that I've been able to take a little time and make this very clear. Article 1, Section 1 of the United States Constitution is a broad provision, and I'm assuming because I didn't get a chance to read it, but my knowledge of how it works is enough, suffices. Article 1, Section 1 of the United States Constitution, most likely than not, confers broad jurisdiction upon Congress. Article 1, Section 1. Now, Article 1, Section 2, Clause 5, just got a chance to Google that. I haven't got a chance to read the language of it. But I asked specific questions, so I'm now relying on the summary, and I think this is specifically stating Congress's power to impeach a president and to have a Senate trial and to remove the president of the United States, and that seems to be provided in Article 1, Section 2, Clause 5. But people, this is what you need to understand, because it's gonna come out. I mean, before it do come out, because I understand some guy that's gonna speak today after Ken Starr, sometime after Ken Starr is gonna make this same argument to you, which I've been doing before. I just haven't cited. I just tell you the Constitution. I would assume you'd go and read it. But let me explain it. Make sure, hopefully, he'll explain it, articulate it, just as I hope I will do now. People, all three branches of government of the United States, there are checks and balances. There is a limitation on the power. Congress has limitations on her powers. The president, the executive branch, has limitations on her powers, and the judiciary has limitations on her powers. Now, you know it would be absurd to think that the president has limits on his power. The courts have limits on its powers, but the Congress has no limit on its power. Now, when you're dealing in a legal proceeding, unlike in the court, unlike with the president, it is not a legal proceeding. But Congress proceedings are legal proceedings. The court's proceedings are legal proceedings. So when a person is being affected by proceedings of Congress, acts of Congress, we have the right, and the person that has been affected has the right to challenge Congress authority. So there's a challenge to the exercise of congressional power. Article 1, Section 2, Clause 5 limits. Who knows what the word limit means? Limits Congress's authority, Congress's power to exercise her power to impeach a president and to hear articles of impeachment and to remove a president from office. Limits it to high crimes, misdemeanors, and bribery and other high crimes. Now, the minute that any federal judge or any other person that is subject to being impeached and removed from office, that person has a right, though the Democrats won't tell you. They don't even want it to come up, surely, and I'll touch that later. But any time, now that I understand that the president's attorneys are going to challenge the power. Okay, resume recording. People, this is so important. I just don't understand why it's
just people not really articulating and making the big deal out of it as it must be made out of. But thankfully, it'll be made today. You can challenge a branch of government's authority, its exercise of authority. And so an attorney's going to step up today. He's going to make a constitutional argument that these are not high crimes and misdemeanor. Okay, fine, that's all dandy. But from that point, there must be a plea to the plea to the exercise of congressional power. What that does is it makes the prosecutors, well, when in time, the burden to prove authority or jurisdiction, Congress should be on the House. So but anybody can plead to the jurisdiction of Congress. So the president's attorneys are supposed to make a plea to the exercise of congressional authority, stating that these articles of impeachment do not, on their face, state a crime against the laws of the United States, nor as defined by the United States Constitution. Therefore, the Senate has no authority to hear the matter, and therefore move for the Chief Justice to throw it out right then, dismiss it on the merit. Well, not on the merit because it's not so you can't dismiss on the merits because you dismiss with prejudice. You can't dismiss on the merits. People, just because, here's a better example. A person may perceive that they've been injured, but if the law does not provide for a person to have standing to bring a cause of action, for example, a Texas prisoner a person that's in confinement in a prison system in the United States may bring a lawsuit or complaint claiming that prison officials violated some right because this person needs dentures, because this person needs something like a TV. The law does not recognize that as a claim to be brought into the federal system. You might have one in the state system, but you don't have a forum to bring these allegations, these averments, even if true, into the federal system. Therefore, it is frivolous. The courts don't have jurisdiction. Like the Supreme Court has stated in Steel Company versus Citizen for a Better Environment at volume 118. Supreme Court reporter beginning at page 1003 or 1006, published in 1998. Federal courts have jurisdiction if the Constitution is given one construction and the party would prevail. Federal courts have jurisdiction if the Constitution is given one construction and the party would prevail, and if given another construction, the parties would it would be defeated. So that's, they can explain more about what they're saying there, but there has to be in the federal system, a triad, a cause for action. There has to be a person injured, and there has to be a prayer for relief, and there has to be a causation between this person and another person. So I'm just not thinking so clearly right now, because this is it's kind of, I don't know why people just letting it go on. You plead to the jurisdiction of the Congress. You show that the allegations in these articles of impeachment do not rise up to the level of invoking Congress's jurisdiction to impeach the president. Therefore, the Chief Justice has to throw out the articles of impeachment. It's a difference between dismissing it, they're just thrown out. Congress, you just can't just make up any kind of allegations and think you can just vote on it because you're in the majority and rush that over to the Senate. And see, in other words, even if the allegations are true, if it is not a crime as defined, a federal crime, and a high one as defined by federal law, or a crime defined or recognized by the federal Constitution, Congress cannot hear that. The House has no power just to represent. They just see you can't even abuse something that you don't have. So I can't even say that the House of Representatives has abused her power, because you can only abuse something that you have. So since you don't have the power to do what you are doing, then you can't be said to abuse it. What you can be said to do is you are committing a crime called deprivation of rights. You cannot exercise that which you don't have. If you have authority to act, then you can exceed that authority, and which would be void. But here, Congress didn't even have the power to impeach the president. Yes, Congress has the power to investigate, but investigating is one thing. Impeaching is totally different. So when they commenced to investigate and found nothing, then they were supposed to just let it go. There was nothing there. They wasn't even supposed to even call it to the floor for a debate or for a vote. There was nothing there. Because there was no high crime. You have to be, okay, these allegations constitute the crime of whatever it is. Don't tell us abuse of Congress, because there's no such thing. You have to tell us there is no such crime as abuse of Congress. Well, ain't nobody, come on, man. Mr. President, you just sitting there letting this shit go on. Then notice you got 4 Republicans. The Democrats need 4 Republicans to cross over and vote for witnesses. And they just happen to have 4 Republicans has put it out there that they want to hear more witnesses. This is why I say it's a setup. It's a setup. It's a setup. How in the hell are you going to vote with the Democrats? I can see if the Democrats were being fair, all 47 of them vote, one crowd, one left. These people are in lockstep with each other. Why would you see they not being fair? You a Republican, then that's why I think that's why we even have parties, because we supposed to stick together. They sticking together. Why you would break ranks and go and side with them? They don't give a damn. They not after the truth. They just want this man out of office. And for you Republicans to indicate that you're willing to hear testimony, knowing that this is partisan, you are what you call a traitor to your country. These people have these Democrats and these even Republicans have sold our secrets to China and Russia. And Trump is involved, and Durham is out to expose them. And they going after them. And now they're in a panic mode. They're in a panic mode. So Mr. William Barr and Mr. John Dewey, go start throwing out some indictments. And so they can start being quiet.